Feels very retro. What is up, everyone? It is Blue for Blue Shoes. Today, we're here to do a sneaker review on the Curry Splash 24 in the Curry Jam Colorway. The inspiration for this colorway specifically has been drawn from the old retro video game NBA Jam. That was a very famous old 90s video game. And so a lot of the colors and patterns and stuff on this shoe were meant to kind of invoke a retro feel. You might also recognize this sneaker from the three-point competition that Steph was in during All-Star Weekend versus Sabrina Ionescu.
I think he's counting in his head, Reg. And again. He got it. He got it. He got it.
He won, of course, greatest shooter of all time. But it was a really awesome event, and it was on a very large national stage, so a lot of people got to see these really dope kicks that he was wearing. Getting into the looks of the sneaker, I like them. I'm personally a bit of a fan of bright and loud sneakers. There's a few things about these that aren't my favorite, but just overall, I do really enjoy a lot of the bright colors, and I do think they did a good job giving it, a retro feel. One of my favorite parts about the look of the shoe has to be how this upper, if you can actually see, the upper has these holes in the mesh, and it's actually multiple layers of mesh. It's a black on top, then there's a teal layer of mesh that's just off center a little bit, as well as a pink under that. So depending on the angle you look at it, you kind of can see the different shades of the black, the black, the teal, and the reddish pink color that you have on the outsole. It's a really cool look that I really enjoy. One of the few things that I'm not as big of a fan of is almost kind of like an 8-bit or a 16-bit kind of video game look, zebra stripes on a bit of the heel and the inside, as well as on the tongue of the shoe. That's something I'm not as massive of a fan of. As well as I don't love the pink around the laces, but overall I do really enjoy this colorway and this sneaker. For the shape of the shoe and like the actual design and layout of the sneaker, I really like it. I like some of the abstract kind of waves and curves shapes. I think on foot it looks really good. If you weren't as big of a fan of the bright colorways, there's definitely some colorways that are more plain that kind of just look more like a regular sneaker, and I think they'd be really cool to rock casually as well as on the court. I will point out there is the Curry logo on the heel that is like in orange and yellow. The Curry logo on the tongue. There is an Under Armour logo on the heel of the sneaker, as well as it does say Curry on the insole inside of the sneaker. The materials are not all super well known to me. I know obviously a lot of this upper of the forefront of the shoe is, as I mentioned earlier, multiple layers, and that's kind of the main layer body of the shoe. We do have, as you can see, these teal sections. That is like a fused kind of plastic overlay material, and I know that's kind of meant to be there to give a little bit more lock-in and stability, just because this netting material has some give and stretch to it. So it actually feels really comfortable on foot and allows for your foot to stretch, and it's not just like completely sealed in, but around the toe box and on the sides here, there is some lock-in from that material that would really help if you are playing basketball when you're stepping forward or doing lateral movements. Also, that fused material is the pink that you see right there on the laces. These little just blue plastic pieces there at the very top of the lace holes around the collar. And then on the inside of the sneaker, around the heel here, it's pretty well padded and cushioned. The material itself isn't all that soft, but it's some kind of a knit material. The tongue is that same kind of material as the inside. One of the cool details about this shoe is Curry brand actually brought back MicroG from some of their older sneakers. MicroG is the foam that they use in the midsole of this sneaker. I think MicroG is a really comfortable foam when done correctly. You can see right there, it actually says MicroG on the side of that heel. Then the material on the outsole is a pretty standard feeling rubber. It is in a bit of a radial or like circular traction pattern. I kind of like the look of that. The traction on these sneakers is actually pretty raised, and the circular traction patterns that you have here actually have another like coming to a point triangular traction pattern under that. So I feel like these could actually work really well for playing basketball on outdoor courts.
Curry splits the defense behind the back, fires a three, puts it in!
All right, now let's talk fit and comfort. So as far as fit goes, I would suggest going true to size. I got these in a size 10, which is my true sneaker size. They fit really, really great. This is actually a sneaker that I feel like wide footers would probably not have any problem with. It's not a super duper narrow shoe. It's a pretty standard, normal shoe size. I mean, if you have super wide feet, maybe you could have an issue, but I have a wide foot and I was able to wear these in my true size and they don't feel like they're squeezing my feet at all. For the comfort of these, I will say it is a comfortable sneaker. The insole is a pretty thin Ortholite sneaker insole, pretty standard foam. It sucks, to be totally honest. It'll kind of wear down pretty quickly and flatten out pretty quickly. So if you really want a really comfortable insole, you might want to take the insole that's in this out and put in a more comfortable and longer lasting insole in the shoe. But the shoe still remains pretty comfortable. For one thing, as I've mentioned earlier, that upper has some give to it and is very soft on the inside, which makes the comfort on the top of your foot very comfortable. But also the MicroG that you have in the sneaker is also fairly soft. It's not, you're not gonna sink into the shoe. It's not as soft or doesn't have as much give as like an Ultra Boost from an Adidas sneaker per se. But it definitely is soft and will break in over time. I feel like there is a bit more give in the heel section of the shoe. So I feel like that could actually be really good for basketball because you have some court feel in the front when you're on your toes making basketball moves, but you also have really nice heel comfort when you're just jogging or walking in them. These are still in stock in this colorway at the time of recording this. You can still get them on UnderArmour.com. I believe even Foot Locker or some other places might have them. And they are available in some different colorways if this colorway doesn't do it for you. The price for these is $100, kind of one of Steph's, more of a budget shoe because a lot of his signature sneakers run in the $150 to $160 range. And they've got multiple layers of mesh and different kinds of knit and materials and old foams that they brought back. So even though it is a budget sneaker, it doesn't feel like a budget sneaker. So for $100, these are pretty great. Now let's ask the wife what she thinks of these.
Okay, offhand, honestly, I think they're ugly, but if I gave some tips, I think they have potential to be prettier. If you took off the pink that's around the top, the yellow, the orange, and then that darker blue, I think they would look better. Replace that pink with the bottom pink and still have like that speckled black and white that's on the underneath, and then I think they'd look good because I like the pink and the turquoise blue, but the other colors, I think it's a little much.
I still like them. I still think they're cool, but I definitely can see where she's coming from. It is a lot, but I think to a degree that is the point. They're supposed to look retro and kind of wild and out there like some of the 80s and 90s clothes were. Let me know what you think of these shoes in the comment section down below. Would you wear them? Are they too bright? Are they too much for you? Let us know what you think. All right, well, that'll do it for these sneakers. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like. Maybe subscribe to the channel to keep up with future videos. Also, go back and watch some of my old sneaker reviews if that's, tickles your fancy. Also, feel free to give a like and a subscription to maybe a lesser known channel other than just mine, because you never know how that might brighten someone's day or encourage them to keep going. But yeah, be nice to everyone. Have a great rest of your day. And for now, Blue out.